The one that I want to talk to you about today is my newest book, and it's so new that this is about the first time that I've ever given this talk. And it's all to do with an amazing person who wrote fantastic plays called William Shakespeare. Now that's wonderful. Now, have you studied any William Shakespeare? Do you know any of his plays? Yeah. Romeo and Juliet. What have you heard? The Winter's Tale. That's an excellent one. King Lear. Any other plays? Hamlet. So you guys are experts on Shakespeare. Why don't we introduce people to Shakespeare by showing them all the plays at once? And you can see that this really appealed to me. Why do you think that appealed to me? All the plays at once. What sort of stories do I like telling? Big stories, right? So I thought, yes, why don't we look at all the plays together? Now, how many plays is that? How many did he write? Anybody want to have a guess? Yes, sir. 40, brilliant guess. Samuel, is it? Is that your name? Well done, Sam. 40, almost. It is thought that he wrote about 38 plays. I can show you all 38 plays here. Well, you know what's coming up, don't you? Here we go. Out we come. All 38 plays, the plays of Shakespeare. So you can put it on the floor, hang it on the wall or whatever else. Now I've got a giant one behind me, and what's fun about wall books is that not only can you turn a book into something you can stick on a wall, but you can also turn a wall into something that's like a book, because this has all the plays as well. So I brought that one with me in the back of my car. So here we are. We've got a timeline on the bottom, because all my books have timelines, and it tells you when the plays were written. You see they all line up. Each little box has a different play inside, and there are 38 plays, Samuel, but I had 40 boxes. So over here I've got a props department. Do you know what I mean by props? They're the sort of bits and pieces that actors have, maybe daggers, you could be useful, or swords, or masks, or eyeballs. They're quite useful sometimes, at least in Shakespeare they are. And at the top bit here is where the musicians are, because they had musicians in those days playing little sort of lutes and things like that, and recorders, and doing sound effects with pieces of metal and all that kind of stuff. So they're up here, but all the other boxes contain all the other plays. And at the bottom, the timeline tells you what was happening in Shakespeare's life and what was happening in the rest of the world. For example, something very dramatic happened in 1605 in Shakespeare's life. Any idea what happened? There was a terrorist in London, a terror attack, and we celebrate this terror attack. It was foiled. Guy Fawkes, got him, absolutely. There he is, Guy Fawkes, about 1605, same time as Macbeth, same time as what's this one here, Antony and Cleopatra, and the same time pretty much as King Lear. On the other side, thank you Lauren, we've got the stories of what it is, thank you, that has made Shakespeare so famous, because this year is the birthday, his 450th birthday. So over the last 450 years he's written all his 38 plays and then became the most famous playwright. And so you've got things like when his first plays were first published, when you had the first female actresses, because in Shakespeare's day girls weren't allowed on the stage, which seems ridiculous, doesn't it, these days, and all the female parts had to be played by boys. But anyway, from 1616 onwards they put that right. And you've got his the saving of his birthplace. You've got somebody here who thought Shakespeare was a phony, so she went to try and dig up his bones in the church in Stratford-upon-Avon, but there's a curse on his grave that says if you dig up the bones you'll be cursed, and so she got too scared and so she didn't dig up his bones, which I'm happy to say. Then we start having films made, and then this, who's this man here in Germany? Does anybody know, in the Second World War? What's his name? And he said Shakespeare really should be considered to be a German, because he thought Shakespeare was a sort of hero really for German people. And then in England we were writing about Shakespeare as a hero for us by filming a film called Henry V. So he's been used by lots of different countries in lots of different ways. And then somebody in here who's been in prison, already mentioned him today, and he took great inspiration from Shakespeare when he was in prison, Nelson Mandela, absolutely. All the way through, in a big crossword on the back, all the answers you'll find somewhere in the 38 plays.